Welcome to this episode, everyone. I'm Dr. Hapazula, and you are in the kitchen with me, Dr. H. Today, we are traveling to South America. We're making a dish called Bistec a Caballo. It actually translates to steak on horseback, and it's a popular dish throughout Colombia and all of South America. At the base, there are simple ingredients in this Colombian steak. It is paired with onions and tomatoes combined together to create a comforting, filling meal and can be easily spruced up with other ingredients depending on what you have available or your own preference. It originates as a ranch meal, and Colombians pair lightly seasoned grilled steak with hogao, that traditional tomato and onion salsa, and it's topped with a fried egg. Now, this dish is incredibly hearty and it has the ability to satisfy even the largest appetites. Are you ready? Let's get cooking. Another episode. Are you excited? We're going to travel to South America today. We're making steak on horseback, or Bistec a Caballo, and we're pairing that with a limonada de coco, just my version, right? So I am beyond excited. This is a protein-packed dish. It has gorgeous skirt steak that has been marinated in seasonings that add depth and flavor. So mustard, dry mustard is in there, some garlic and cumin, and I've had it marinating overnight. Now before that, I pounded it out so it gets nice and thin, and it would cook a little bit faster. You break down all of the structures within there so it cooks faster and it's a little bit more tender. Another trick to make this tender, so you can add just a little dusting of baking soda to the top of your beef, and it tenderizes it without you having to slow cook this for hours, okay? Well, this is not a slow cook meal. This is sort of a rancher's meal, right? And it's a beautiful celebration of beautiful Caribbean flavors and Latin American flavors. So here, first thing you wanna get ready is your grill. You wanna make sure that it has some olive oil on it. I have already brushed it in there. I wanna make sure that it's nice and hot, ready to accept our steaks. And I like to actually put the steaks on first because that seasons my grill pan. This dish actually is paired with hogao, which is steak and onion. It's a steak and onion just right over the top. So I find that when the steak goes on first and then you add the tomatoes and onions after you've removed the steak, you've already had a seasoned pan. So all of those juices and flavors come right up into the onions and the tomatoes and all of those seasonings, and it's delicious. So let me just set my heat here to about medium-high heat and make sure that the pan is ready. You should hear a nice little sizzle as the steak is laid right on the top. So I'm going to use a pair of tongs, and you see all the gorgeous seasonings on here. Some green from the cilantro on there. Spreads right over the top, just like that. You don't want to crowd your pan. You want to make sure that all of your skirt steak, they all have a nice space to be able to cook beautifully, just like that. You don't want to move it around too much in there. Now what I'm going to do is see if I can find a shorter piece. Like, nope, I think that we'll wait for the next round perhaps. I don't want to crowd it too much. Let's try these 3 pieces first. And as that's cooking away, they're going to shrink, as you know, as they cook a little bit. We're going to look at what else we have here and see how we'd like to put this dish together. So the steak, the skirt steak is the main component. We also have some fried eggs that are going to go on the top. So I'm going to get those ready just ahead of time and just put a little bit of olive oil in a pan, just like that. You don't want it to get too hot, so about medium heat until that is ready to accept an egg or two. And I like to crack my eggs separately into ramekins so that they don't, if you don't have any shells escape into your pan, and you know that you can pour them gently. So we're going to crack about 2 eggs right into 2 different ramekins over here and pour each one out into the pan. Just make sure that we have our fried eggs ready for the steaks, just to top off the steaks. And you see that the steaks don't take too long to cook. It's about maybe 2-3 minutes aside, depending on how thin the steaks are. But you see that is, I wanted to get a nice sort of caramelized color on the very bottom. And also, another piece of this dish, another part of this dish, you can either have greens on the very bottom like I have over here, or I've steamed these potatoes ahead of time. You can take these and chop them up a little bit, and also sort of use these in the same grill pan and cook them up with a little bit of thyme and salt and pepper. And you'll find that this is a really nice way to have a starch added to this meal. So we're going to just cut up just a few of these. And you can also make a little avocado salad if you choose to. We can do that as well. We can put that on the top or on the side, however you choose to do it. Okay, I'm just going to cut up just maybe one more over here. All right, we'll do one more. These are so delicious. And because I have cooked them ahead of time and they've cooled, they have more resistant starch in there, which means that you don't absorb too much of those carbs, right? It goes right through you as fiber. So I'm going to turn my heat up slightly over here and take a look and see. I'm going to use a clean pair of tongs just to sort of turn this over here. Beautifully cooking. Very nicely cooking. I'm going to let it cook down a little bit more here. All the juices are just coming together. Now that it's shrunk down a little bit, I can add in another skirt steak right on the side right here. Let that start to cook down as well. Okay, now it looks as though my eggs should be ready to get cooked. The eggs I'm going to do one at a time. Make sure that this is not too hot. Just gently pour your egg right out. See that is, I'm going to let this stay on this side of the pan a minute. It's not screaming too much at me, which is a good thing, right? We could do either one at a time, or you can just pour the other one just gently on the other side right there. Here we go. And we want to season that with a little bit of salt and pepper. Just as it's cooking, we have flavor components everywhere in this dish. This is an important part of the Bistec Caballo. That fried egg on the top, right? I'm using extra virgin olive oil, and what I'm going to do to cook the tops of this a little bit, I'm going to cover it just so that the steam just comes to the top of that egg and cook some of the white and some of the yolk, but I want to let that yolk stay a little bit creamy. Okay, I'm going to keep my heat on the grill here for the skirt steak. Let's just make sure this is getting enough heat on this side. This is cooking through. That's beautiful. And my eggs are looking almost ready there, which is amazing. Let's move this guy over here. Give it a little bit more heat. Right there in the middle, maybe. There we have our skirt steak going. Okay? Now, it depends on how much steak you want to eat. You can make 2 or 3, just depending on the size. I'm going to stick with 2, just to make sure that, you know, it's not too much, it's a good enough portion. And my eggs are looking really nice over there. Another trick is, aside from closing the lid to have the eggs cook, you can take a fork and sort of pierce the egg a little bit, and all of that egg white that's on the top that's uncooked goes right through, and it cooks beautifully.
Why is CVS Pharmacy America's choice for vaccinations?
Because we all got the COVID-19 vaccine and flu shot. And I can make the appointment right here.
Save time, schedule online. No wonder CVS Pharmacy is America's choice for vaccinations.
Okay, so my steak, now it's on sort of the highest heat here. Let's get that going a little bit. That's looking delicious. Seeing the juices sort of coming together. And the eggs are looking almost just about done there. Going to let that sit for a minute. Now the potatoes, and we have all the other components of the hogao, which will go over the top of the steaks. That is the tomato and onion base. And we have some chopped scallions and garlic, some bell peppers and cilantro. I always reserve a little bit of hot sauce to add to my tomato sauce, but you don't have to make it spicy at all. That's just my own personal preference. So do what works for you. And then with the potatoes, we're going to use that same pan that has all of those delicious steak juices. Once this cooks down a little bit more, just literally add it on, right? And so once the steak is cooking at the same time, we have the potatoes cooking at the same time. So let that cook down a little bit more here. See all those juices that are releasing? That's what we want to see. Going to turn this one over a little bit here. See if we need to get some of these to juice down a little bit. And we're going to let these steaks rest a little bit after I take it off of the grill pan. You could do this outside on your outside grill if you have an outside grill, or like I'm doing here on a stovetop grill pan. You just use a saute pan as well, whatever works for you, whatever you have available to you, right? This is such a nice, easy, and hearty dish, and it just makes you feel comforted and happy. And that protein that you get into this from this meal is going to keep you going, give you the energy that you need. You won't feel hungry later, believe me. Okay, so now I'm just filling this here, and I feel as though this has been cooking for enough time. I'm just going to take these and let them rest off to the side, just like that. Let these rest. Let the juices fit back in. This is looking amazing, just like that. And let these rest. Now that's saved. Look at all those gorgeous juices that are in my pan right there. Oh, my eggs are so done. Look at that. My eggs are really, really done. So I'm going to take my eggs and actually put them off to the side. Here, take a nice spatula. And take your eggs and put them right off to the side. Just like that. I'm going to use that for plating after.
Special thanks to our sponsors: Aetna CVS Health, American Heritage School.
So now our eggs are ready for the top. Our steaks are cooking. We're going to add the potatoes first into this to kind of just heat up a little bit. Allow it to just sort of marinate beautifully in the juices of the steak. And I'm actually going to add just a little bit. You don't even need to add any oil, okay? Because you're using the steak juices right here. And this will be just plenty flavor. You don't have to add anything else. You could add a couple of sprigs of thyme if you choose to. Like I'm going to add just a couple of sprigs of thyme just over the top. Oh, I wish you could smell this, everyone. This is going to be a beautiful addition. Remember, the potatoes are already cooked. We're just giving it a little extra help by allowing it to just sort of absorb some of those gorgeous juices. Now what I'm going to do here is take those potatoes that are already sort of cooked down. They already have some seasonings on them from before when I boiled them in salted water, and just put them on my side of my dish right here, just like that. This is going to pair nicely with the steak. But we're going to make the ogao sauce now in the same pan. I'm going to take out all those pieces of thyme right there. There you go. Perfect. How gorgeous that is. A few more pieces left over here. All right. Now is the perfect time to add your juicy onions and your tomatoes for the ogao sauce. Now you can slice up your onions like I did here, or you could use these chopped onions, similar to what I have here. I'm going to use both just because I love my onions. And we're going to add in those tomatoes right in. Gorgeous diced tomatoes. Hear that sizzle, everybody? Oh, that's what you want to do. Let it get all into the pan. Get all of that flavor. This is going to help to deglaze your pan and absorb all of those delicious steak flavors that are in the same pan. So literally, it's a one-pot meal sort of cooked in the pot at separate times. The only thing that we didn't cook in the pan were the eggs, but that's all right. Now that that's cooking down, we're going to add in a couple more things. Remember, the steak already had some delicious seasonings in there, right? Take a look at the recipe and see what we have in there, and you can always alter this to suit your own needs. I'm going to add in some of the scallions in here, chopped finely. A little bit of garlic, some minced garlic. And never add my garlic first because I don't want it to burn and get too crispy. I like it to just really stay true to its own flavor, right? I'm going to give that a little bit of a stir in here. A little spoon. Because all of the juices from the tomato and the onions, that is just going to deglaze my pan with all of the flavors right off of the bottom of the pan. Look at that. Isn't that stunning? Beautiful. So make sure we turn off this other burner over here, or else we have a little furnace in the kitchen. We don't want that. So So now I'm going to add in a little bit of green chopped bell peppers into this, just like that. Let it cook down. I like my bell peppers to be a little bit firm. You could, if you'd like to, you can season this up again with some salt and pepper, which we're going to do just right here. Make sure that it is flavorful, just the way you like it. You could use cracked black pepper, or I like to sneak a little bit of Trini hot sauce in here. Give it my own flair, right? You know I always have that available. It's just a touch, just a touch. My mother's hot sauce works like magic. Now, a little bit of cilantro over the top. Chopped cilantro. And you see the onions are cooking down, the tomatoes are cooking down. I'm going to use my spatula because that gives me a better hold on moving these ingredients around a little bit. And then also picking it up and also scraping the bottom of your pan so you get those delicious flavors to infuse with this beautiful ogawa sauce, right? Now, I'm gonna let that cook down just a little bit more here. You can cook it down to the firmness that you'd like, however you choose to. And what we're gonna do at this point is move some of this out of the way and get some of the other items ready. So on one plate, I mentioned already, have some salad greens, so we can put our steaks right on top of that. But I love to actually have a little bit of avocado, sometimes paired with this dish, right? So you could just take your avocado and literally slice it up, make a tiny little avocado salad, just like that. I'm going to slice down the middle here and then crossways so we get a nice cubed action. And we're going to take my spoon. Oh, my spoon is hiding over here. I'm going to take that and just scoop it right into this bowl right here. Right into the same bowl. Just like that. Mix that together with just a little bit of salt and pepper. See, each component has seasoning, so everything will taste great. Just like that, right? So my onions and peppers, my tomatoes and onions and the peppers over here. See, the water is spraying from the onions and from the tomatoes, and it's beginning to dry up a little bit. That's what you want to see. So gorgeous, and it smells incredible in here. Okay, let that cook down just a little bit more. I want to make sure that the tomatoes break down just enough, but also that the onions are not as firm. I want them to really sort of relax on top of the steak once you put it on board, right? We're going to make our beautiful limonada de coco, and it is so simple to make. So I have a shaker that's filled with chopped ice. To that, I'm going to add some almond milk and coconut milk, just a little bit. I know sometimes this drink calls for the cream of the coconut, but I've opted not to use that. Instead, I'm going to make this a little bit more high protein by using coconut Greek yogurt. Just a couple of dollops of that straight in, just like this. Oh, look how beautiful that is. This is, again, more protein. You're going to feel happy and healthy and well. Your body's going to love you. We're going to add in some freshly squeezed lime juice right into this, right here, just like that. And I actually love to add a little bit of lime zest to the top. Always have some water nearby in case you want it to get a little bit more diluted. That's beautiful. I love that. I'm going to use a whisk actually to sort of bring this together. Just another way to kind of bring this drink together without having to use a blender, right? It's actually more fun. Kids would love doing it with you in the kitchen, right? And now if you'd like to add any sweetener, I try not to use any condensed milk, but I do have coconut sugar over here. You can use a little bit of coconut sugar, or if you opt to use date sugar, you can do that too. This is so much healthier for you, but I tell you, the date sugar is amazing as well because it adds fiber, and essentially it's the same sweetness as sugar itself, regular sugar. So let this come together, give it a nice, good. My whisk is just working heavily there, and I'm gonna give it a shake too, okay? We are first going to push this down nicely so I don't wear the limonada de coco. And we're going to close the top and give it a shake. Put your music on again. This is a fun part in the kitchen, right? The kids would love doing this. Bring your families in together. This is a great, hydrating, delicious drink. Let us pour it out. Before I do that, I'm actually going to cut a slice of my lime for garnish. Let's do that first. Just a slice of lime for garnish. You can just literally put that right on the outside of your glass. Put it right on the top, just like that, before you pour your beautiful limonada de coco. Look how stunning that is. Oh, wow. Beautiful. You want to get a little extra fancy? You can put some zest right on the top. I'm going to have some more zest over here. Just a little bit of that zest right on the top. Better to do this when you don't cut the lime yet. But we're going to just put just a touch of the zest on top, right? Get a little bit of that zest here, just right on the top. And there you go. You have your limonada de coco. Oh my goodness, that really hits a spot. And I love how limey it is. It's amazing. All right, now we're ready to plate everything, everyone. Okay, I'm going to turn my heat down on this. And the way we're going to put this together, at least on the first dish, I already have my potatoes done over here, right? We're going to take a pair of tongs or just grab a fork and just put a beautiful piece of the steak right on the side. Another piece of the skirt steak right here on this side. We're going to add in a little bit of our avocado salad on just this side right here. And then we're going to top it off with the gorgeous ogao sauce, right? Ogao sauce on the top, just like that. Look how gorgeous that is. Beautiful. And our fried egg. Let's not forget. Let us see where my spatula went. It's been used for so many things already, right? So let us take our fried egg and right on the top. And there we have it, guys. Bistec a caballo. Gorgeous. We're gonna plate a second one that does not have the potatoes. This one has leafy greens on it. So you could just use leafy greens, put your steak straight on the top, just like this. And remember, the steak is rested, just like that. You know, this is a low carb version, right? And you're putting a lot of your beautiful Caballo sauce on the top of each of the steaks, just like this. Look at the colors in this dish. Oh, and the flavors. Beautiful. And we're going to top it with our final fried egg, just like that. And we could, if we'd like to, put some parsley on the top, a little sprig of parsley on the top. You can choose to either use kitchen shears for this or just pull off a piece of parsley. Just put it straight on the top, just like that. And there we have it, everybody. We made it. Bistec a caballo and a beautiful limonada de coco. Can't wait to see you for the next episode, everyone. See you soon. When it comes to making protein choices in your diet, quality is just as important as quantity. Here's all you kind of need to know to keep your body and mind healthy. While protein in your diet provides energy and it supports your mood and cognitive function, it is vital for building, maintaining, repairing tissues, cells, and organs throughout the whole body, and it gives you the energy to get up and go and keep going. Now, while too much protein can be harmful to folks with certain diseases, eating the right amount of high-quality protein keeps your immune system functioning well, keeps your heart healthy, keeps your respiratory system well, and it speeds up recovery after exercise. It's also very important in growth and development of children and in maintaining health in your senior years. You can reduce your risk of diabetes, you can think clearly, improve your recall, your mood, resistance to stress, anxiety, and depression. It also helps you to maintain a healthy weight by curbing your appetite and helps you to actually burn some more calories during the day. As well as being very important in feeling healthy and energetic, protein is also important to the way you look. Eating high-quality protein can help you maintain healthy skin, nails, hair, muscle, and maintain a lean body mass.